I used to think apartments were safer than houses. You have neighbors on every side, security cameras, locked entrances, thin walls that make it impossible for anyone to hide. At least, that's what I believed, until I spent 6 months living in apartment 9A, because during those 6 months, someone was living in apartment 9B. The problem was, apartment 9B had been empty for over 3 years, and according to the police, nobody had entered that apartment in months. So explain this. Who kept knocking on my bedroom wall every night at exactly 3:17 a.m.? The story. My name is Daniel, and this happened in October of 2023. I had just accepted a new job in Chicago and rented a small one-bedroom apartment in an older 10-story building. It wasn't luxurious, but it was affordable. The building was built in the 1960s and had the usual signs of age: creaky pipes, faded carpets, slow elevators, and hallways that always smelled faintly of bleach. The landlord, Mr. Collins, seemed friendly enough. During the lease signing, he casually mentioned something. If you hear strange plumbing noises at night, don't worry. These old buildings make all kinds of sounds. I laughed. I've lived in old apartments before. He smiled. I'm sure you'll adjust. Looking back, I don't think he was talking about the pipes. Moving day was exhausting. By evening, I had unpacked most of my belongings. The apartment felt quiet, too quiet. Around midnight, I climbed into bed. At exactly 3:17 a.m., knock. 3 slow taps came from the bedroom wall beside my bed. Knock, knock, knock. I assumed it was my neighbor, maybe hanging a picture. I rolled over and went back to sleep. The next night, 3:17 a.m., 3 knocks. Exactly the same rhythm, same location. The third night, it happened again. This time I checked my phone immediately. 3:17, not 3:16, not 3:18, exactly 3:17. Every single time. A few days later, I met my next-door neighbor in apartment 9C. Her name was Melissa. While we were talking in the hallway, I casually asked, "Does your neighbor in 9B ever make noise at night?" She looked confused. "There isn't anyone in 9B. What do you mean? What do you mean?" "It's empty." I laughed. "No. Someone knocks on my bedroom wall every night." She stared at me. "No one's lived there since..." She stopped speaking. "Since what?" She looked uncomfortable. "Never mind." Then she walked away. That evening, curiosity got the better of me. I walked to apartment 9B. The door had dust on the handle. A faded notice from management was taped to it. No electricity, no tenant, no entry. I knocked. Nothing. No sound. No movement. That night, 3:17, knock, knock, knock. This time I knocked back. Silence. 5 seconds later, 3 knocks answered me. Slower, louder. My skin went cold. The next morning, I asked the building manager about apartment 9B. His smile disappeared. "Don't worry about that apartment." "Why?" "It needs repairs." "When will someone move in?" He hesitated. "Probably never." Over the next week, things escalated. Footsteps crossed the empty apartment every night. Heavy footsteps. Back and forth. Dragging sounds, furniture moving. But every time I looked through the peephole, The hallway was empty. One Saturday I came home late. The hallway lights were flickering. As I passed apartment 9B, I heard whispering, not one voice, several, talking softly through the door. I froze. Then every voice stopped at once. Complete silence. A second later, something scratched the inside of the door. Long, slow, deliberate. I hurried back into my apartment and locked every lock. The next morning, I checked the building directory. Apartment 9B wasn't listed anymore. It skipped from 9A to 9C, like 9B had never existed. That night, I couldn't sleep. At 3:16, I sat against the bedroom wall waiting. My phone displayed the seconds. 3 hours, 16 minutes, and 58 seconds. 3 hours, 16 minutes, and 59 seconds. 3:17, nothing. I sighed with relief. Then, 3 knocks came from inside my bedroom closet. Not the wall, the closet. I slowly opened it. Nothing, just clothes. But behind my jackets, someone had written on the drywall, "Don't answer the knocking." I called the police. They searched my apartment, found nothing. Then one officer asked, "Mind if we check next door?" The landlord reluctantly unlocked apartment 9B. The smell hit us immediately. Rot, mold, dust. The apartment was completely empty. No furniture, no electricity. Every window was nailed shut. The police searched every room. Nothing. Until one officer entered the bedroom. He called us over. The shared wall between our bedrooms had hundreds of scratch marks, deep scratches, as if someone had clawed at the wall for years. Then we noticed something else. 3 words carved repeatedly into the paint. "Let me out." The landlord finally admitted the truth. Years earlier, a tenant named Eric lived there alone. Neighbors complained about nightly knocking. They thought he was bothering everyone. Eventually, police entered his apartment. Eric had disappeared. No signs of forced entry. No blood. No body. Nothing. Nothing. Just one notebook. Every page contained the same sentence: "They knock every night. If you answer, they move closer." I moved out 2 days later. I thought it was finally over. 3 months passed. I rented another apartment across town. Different building, different neighborhood, different life. One night, I woke up naturally. Something felt wrong. I checked my phone. 3:17 a.m. Then, knock, knock, knock. 3 slow taps from the bedroom wall, the wall shared with my new neighbor. The next morning, I introduced myself to him. I casually asked, "How long have you lived here?" He smiled. "I just moved in yesterday." Then he frowned. "Can I ask you something?" "Sure. Do you know why someone keeps knocking on my bedroom wall every night?" I didn't answer. I packed my bags that same afternoon, because now I understood. It was never the apartment. It was never apartment 9B. Whatever answered my knock had followed me, and wherever I live now, I never look at the clock after midnight, because if I ever see 3:17 a.m. again, I know exactly what's coming next. 3 knocks, waiting for me to answer. The end of story 1.